a full face of makeup using the Hourglass Dragon Ambient Lighting Edit Edition. It's glowy perfection. If you've not got time for anything in your life, you've got time for this. You need this to look this fresh and easy every day. So this here is the stunning Hourglass Ambient Light Edit. This is the Dragon palette. There's 3 different palettes available, and this is the lightest of the 3 this year. So these come out limited edition every holiday season, Christmas season. They do sell out pretty fast, so you've got to move quite quickly. They are quite collectible because of the beautiful, thoughtful illustrations that come out every year. There's a different theme. What was last year? I think last year there was the leopard. I've got quite a few. I think the first one I ever got, my friend Ruth Criddy gave me, which was so sweet of her, and it was a silver, just like a plain silver cover, but every year they're just really, really special. This year I believe they retailed at £90. This was gifted to me from the brand, which I'm very, very grateful for. But nonetheless, I love this product. So I just wanted to show you how to use this palette really, really well. So in here are 2 on either end, and it helpfully does, will it focus? See those little numbers there? It tells you all of what everything is. Like 1 is the finishing powder and the shade name as well. And a lot of the time, a lot of the shades are limited edition, so you can't always buy them singularly. So a lot of their products come in a singular or like a trio of colours. You've got 2 finishing powders, so you've got a slightly more like a golden undertone, and then one's a bit more champagne. There's a bit more gold running through it. What's amazing about these palettes is that they're not glittery. They just make you look like you've got such healthy, gorgeous skin. Then you have a bronzer, and then you've got 2 shades of blush and a highlighter. As I said, they're just divine. And in terms of today, I'm going to show you how you use this on the entire face. So if you want a product that you don't have to think about, and they do release a limited edition one throughout the year, but as I said, they also do individuals which do end up being more pricey than these in terms of general value, and they also do the trios as well. But with the trios, a lot of the time you don't have the blush, so I think it's more the like face powder, highlighter, bronzer type thing. But don't quote me on that because they do change it up a little bit. Anyway, I do actually have the limited edition brush that came with it. So for face brushes, I would generally use these sorts of 2 types of brushes. So this one, stop focusing on my face, focus on the brush, thank you. This one has one which is a bit more domed, it's got slightly round edges, and obviously they are a cruelty-free brand, so everything is synthetic and vegan, if that's important to you. And this is a bit more tapered, so you can really tuck it in certain areas. So I generally like to start sculpting with the bronzer. I'm going to use the slightly bigger brush for that, and can you see how I'm just using the, shall I show you the edge of the brush rather than the whole flat of the brush? And that is because I want to start by tucking the bronzer in. So it's slightly above the cheekbone and not quite in the contour, because that is a whole other video on makeup theory. If you know what I mean, let me know below, because there is a whole theory to contour and placement. So then bronzer is about adding warmth, but yes, it does give some dimension to the skin also. It's like a double whammy in that kind of case. So I'm tucking this right into the hairline. The most depth of colour is going to be right up here. The higher points that would be most exposed to the sun. Excuse my hands. Renovations a go-go. She's been working on the bathroom and she's scarred for it. Anyway, so now what I like to do, I'm just going to show you without, with, so it's kind of building. I'm going to use the slightly tapered brush, pop the tip just in there, and what I like to do is just follow that hollow and take it so it meets the edge of the bridge of the nose and then comes down. I don't like to do crazy contour or shape. This isn't contour, this is bronzing, but this is a little bit of shaping that I'm doing now with the bronzer. And I'm just pulling it down, kind of, I'm pulling it to taper the nose rather than follow this round bit, because if I follow this round bit it'll make the edge of that nose look a bit rounder. Then I'm sort of just pulling it up there. So that is what I would do with the bronzer. Really simple, really easy. Now we're balanced and bronzed up, I am going to go in with a bit of cheek colour. So with the blusher you can literally mix the two like that, but I want to show you something a bit more ombre. So as I said, you can mix them. Think of like old school Bobbi Brown brick, if you remember that. Obviously that was way glittery. This is like a real grown-up version. No, I didn't want to do, I just said I didn't want to do that and I just went for it. That's like the morning quick rush. Right, so I'm going to place this colour. I'm going to start from higher up on the cheekbone, blending it. So I guess it's sort of, if you were to draw a line down here, that's where it starts. I'm using the flatter side of the brush to just blend this down. And I'm working in a downward motion because sometimes when you work in an upward motion, especially morning, I've got great lighting always, you can easily go very Aunt Sally very quickly. So that's that little bit of blush, and then I'm going to do step 2, which is going in with a slightly more coral colour. What are the names so I'm getting it all right? So here we go. So the first one was Divine Light and the second one was Peach Fusion. Is that right? So then going like this, doing the same sort of motion but starting, I'm not starting quite as high, I'm going a bit lower. This is to give a bit more of a pronounced pop right there. So no blush, blush. So just, do you know what, I actually, when I was younger, I was quite, I didn't get blush. But I think now I'm getting older and just understand makeup better, that it's, blush is one of those really simple, quick things you can do that makes you look really healthy and alive. Which is great, because we are, so we want to celebrate that. And then with any remaining colour, I do like to just, again, sweep that over the eye, but we'll come back to doing the eyes in a bit. I just want to do that for now. And then at this point, I would go in with my highlight. So I'm using the, oh hi, it's 2 me's, imagine that. Oh my god, I'd love to clone myself. I could get so much done. Right on the top of the cheekbone. You guys know where to highlight, but look. It is so gorgeous, and with this sort of highlighter, the more you polish it, the more sheen and the more kind of skin-like it looks. See how it just lifts so gorgeously? I am obsessed. Obsessed! I don't know what's happening to me, but she's obsessed. Above the brow, bridge of the nose, top lip. I don't do the nose thing. I don't get it. It's not cute. It's a no from me. If you want to do grown-up highlights, do not highlight the tip of your nose, thank you. It's just sensational. And this looks gorgeous if you're wearing, if it's summer. Does anyone remember what summer's like? I don't. I've like barely had a tan in the past year. I need a holiday. Can someone take me away, please? Lovely on the décolletage, on the, what are those called? Shoulders? Tips of the shoulder, in the middle of the chest, yeah. Down the front of the leg. Gorgeous. Anyway. So that's that. Then what you do is just give your brush a little bit of a wipe. I love to use things. So I'm going to use more of this setting powder just to set. And you can also use, so it depends how light your skin tone is, but I can use that as a natural looking highlighter that's more lighter than my skin. So just show you the powder going on. So always powder in the center. See how it's just knocked down that sheen. Just makes you look, it's this gorgeous kind of eggshell finish. It's like a slight satin. You can really see it hitting here. That sheen has died down. So this will just help give a bit of longevity. Then if you wanted to add a bit of more brightness, you can do that here. Sort of like a line down the side of the nose. And a bit of brightness there. Gorgeous, honey. Look at that uplighting. I do need to get a light, to be honest, on your cheekbone. I cut you. Anyway, right, moving swiftly on. So let's do the eyes in a bit more detail. Shall I come closer? Do it with me. So I'm going in with the bronzer. And I am going to apply that more on the outer edge of the eye. So can you see how we've moved to a smaller brush? This, by the way, is a Bare Minerals brush called the Blender. And I'm doing that more in the outer third of the eye, along the lash line, then sort of blending it. So where I placed it before, I'm almost tracing that shape. I'm gonna look up, so the tip of this brush, gosh, I almost jumped a bit. So in this mirror I could see like some behind me. It's a big print, it's like a vintage print of women doing their makeup. Today, I think I'm just tired and my brain is overthinking, and I just kept thinking I saw things. Like there'd be an object in the room and it's like a big palette moving thing and it had a black arm thing, and I was like, oh, there's a person there. No, it's not. Anyway, so I've just matched it up. And then this is where we can add a bit of like interest and colour into the mix. So I'm going to add that slightly, I guess it's like a dusty rose sort of colour, spilling from the edge of that. Make it a bit peachier. Just tap, tap, tap. So if you want to build colour, just tap it on, because blending shears a colour out. And what we can do is go with our nice bright colour, use this as a bit of a base. Pop this more on the inner corner. So it's got this kind of gorgeous luminosity, and again, just gives a bit of brightness. Nothing too crazy. Then, to give this a bit of extra, you know, you can go in with the highlighter shade. It's crazy because you think, oh, that's going to be so dark on your skin, but it's not. Literally, if you applied it 2,000,000%, then it will. But this will just give it an extra cute factor. I feel like I'm just going to use my finger just to really densely apply that more so. Really take it below a little bit as well so it just catches, but it's already subtle. I'm going to take my concealer brush from earlier and just clean up those edges. Sensational. She's a vision. She's ready. I said it. Gosh, I sound like a tragic Paris Hilton song. Sorry Paris, I do love you. I think you're amazing, especially with all the fires at the moment, and you're just being so generous and kind. So just feel like we need a little bit of lip action just to, can't really see what colour this is, but it's gone a bit red. So that was the colour Haze by Hourglass. And then I'm just going to finish off with a bit of mascara. And there you have the finished look with the palette. It's so stunning. So stunning. I love it, babes. Don't know why I'm going northern. This palette is incredible. I'm just going to show you up close. Just how gorgeous the textures are. It just feels so lightweight. It's so easy because it's something you can just pack with. Great if you travel a lot or just don't have a lot of time. It is your trusty gracias. So if you've got any questions, pop them below. Let me know if you've tried this palette, or is it on your wish list, or there are other brands. There's not a lot of other brands that do palettes. I'm trying to think of some. I want to say Charlotte Tilbury used to do one. I don't know if they still do. I know Vive do. Let me know if there's any other brands that you can think of. But I feel like it's a good staple. You just cannot go wrong with it. So if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe. Let's get chatting in the comments. If you've got any requests for any other videos, pop them below, because I just can't wait to hear them. Because this is our year, baby. You and me.